Okay, so going back. So, diba remember, we have log base 9 of 27 over raised to the 5th power. Now, let's say, for example, if you want to apply the change of base method, kung gusto mo i-apply yung change of base method, ganito kasi yun. Diba remember, you have this one. We do log of 27 divided by log of 9. Dapat we're supposed to get 1.5. And then, diba remember, we raise that to the 5th power, diba? So, we raise that to the 5th power. Diba? We can apply the change of base method like this, diba? This is how you apply the change of base method. The change of base property in logarithms goes like this. For example, you have log of AB. So therefore, log of answer comes first, divided by log of the base. Or like for example, if you want to apply the 10, let's say for example, log base 10 of 10,000. Diba? If you were to apply the change of base property, it goes like this. Log of 10,000 divided by log of 10. Log of 10,000, that's supposed to be, ano yun? You're supposed to get, ano yun? 4. 4 divided by 10 is 1. So 4. That's how the change of base property works. Or let's say naman you have log base 100 of 1 million. Diba? So therefore, we have log of 1 million on the top, and then log of 100 on the bottom. Doing that so will give you 6 over 2. 3. Diba? And then, it takes 3 100s to make 1 million. Yun yung change of base method. Now, doing this, you will get, ano yun? 1.5. Then, because of the power law, you have to raise that to the 2.5 power. So, 5th power, so you get 7.5. Or, you can just do, if you have something like this, log base 9 of 27 raised to the 5th power. Do you think you will still get that answer? Yeah, it's a bit wrong. Dapat supposed to be outside. So, yan. 7.5. Okay? That's it. Now, let's go on to the next number. Since number 5 is already done, therefore, it's time to go to number 6. So, in our 6th problem, we have 1 log, and we have so many roots. So, what do? We need to expand the logarithm. Pero this time, look. Diba remember, we have log base 3 of the square root of rows. Uy, may word na naman tayo Rows, diba? Log base 3 of rows. The square root of rows, diba? And then we have the cube root of L. And then x plus 1 cubed raised to the 4th power, raised to the 4th root. Diba? So yan. Now, what do we do in this particular situation? So, ang gagawin na namin ay, ganito siya. Diba remember, if you're going to expand the logs, all we have to do is to apply the product law. Because, diba remember, since they're all being, since they're all being multiplied and there's no divisor, therefore, we're gonna have to multiply everything. So, therefore, rewriting this, you're gonna have log base 3 of the square root of rows plus log base 3 of cube root of L plus, do I remember this one? We have the 4th root of x cubed plus 1. So, rewriting this, you get something like this. Log base 3 of rows. It's BROS, diba? And then plus log base 3 of the cube root of L plus log base 3 of 4th root of x cubed plus 1. Diba? Now, that's how you expand. Pero, we need to do something about the roots. Because we can't have roots in expanded logs. So, how do we do that? Remember what did I tell you in our laws of exponents? The roots can be translated into fractional exponents. Like, for example, if you have, diba remember going back to my calculator? So, ganito kasi yun. Natandaan mo pala yung number 64? Like, for example, look at my calculator. Diba remember you have 64? And then you're going to raise that to the 1/3 power. You get 4. Did you know that 64 can be written as 8 squared? So doing that will give you, ano yun? 8 raised to the 2/3 power. Because 8 squared to give you 64. Taken by cube root, you get 8. Diba? You get 4. Or you can do 8 cube root of 8 to give you 2. 2 squared to give you 4. Yan. So that's how you can use fractional exponents. So now let's do fractional exponents. Pero since the bros are in a group, so therefore this entire square root here has to be in grouped. Because if I remember what I tell you in the laws of exponents, whenever, do I remember, let's say for example, you have a root, diba? For example, square root of 6 times 6. We know that's equivalent to the square root of 36. So therefore, you can raise that to 6 times 6 raised to the 1/2 power. And then we distribute that. Or let's say, for example, 4 times 4. Diba? To give you 16. Diba? 4 times 4 raised to the 1/2 power. Then it distributes. Diba? So yan. We can also do that. So therefore, we can also, or you can also rewrite it this way. Log base 3 of square root of b plus log base 3 of square root of r plus log base 3 of square root of o plus log base 3 of square root of s. Diba? And then we have log base 3 of the cube root of l plus log base 3 of x cubed plus 1 raised to the 4th power. That is being taken by the 4th root. Now we can apply fractional exponents. Diba? So therefore, to translate as fractional exponent, we have log base 3 of b raised to the 1/2 power. Diba? Kasi whenever you have a root, it's the same as translating the exponent into a fractional exponent, such that your denominator will serve as your divisor, will serve as your index of the root. Like for example, if your denominator in the exponent were 2, so therefore it's taken by a square root. Diba? Or like this one, it's L, diba? So L, diba, remember your index is 3. So it's L raised to the 1/3 power. Very good. 1/3 plus log base 3 of, this is a group, so you can take that individually. So you're gonna have to raise that to the x cubed plus 1 raised to the 1/4 power. Very good. Because if I remember, since the index in this root is 4, so therefore our denominator for that part is 4. Ang nga pala, for some mistakes of students, they would rather distribute the fraction kahit na they see something plus. Pero don't do that, kasi nga that will make your answer wrong. So just leave it that way. Okay? Now, remember, this also implies the application of power law. Diba? When we say power law, ibig sabihin lahat yung mga exponents na nasa taas, isa-slide na namin sa baba. So therefore, rewriting this, we get 1/2 log base 3 of b plus 1/2 log base 3 of r plus 1/2 log base 3 of o plus 1/2 of log base 3 of s plus 1/3 of log base 3 of l plus 1/4 of log base 3 of x cubed plus 1. That's it. And there we have it. That's how we expanded this log. And we come up with this final answer. Okay? Or another way that you can simply do is this. You can raise them all to the 1/2 power. And then you can do this. Diba remember sabi ko, you can write it as log base 3 of, of rows raised to the 1/2 power. Then you can set the 1/2 aside first for that matter. Then work on with the rest. And then after that, you work on the last one when you're finished. Diba? That's also another way that you can do it. But I just want to show you one strategy. But I think I must have also explained that in the reviewer video. So if you haven't learned that, please check that out. Okay? Or if you want to give me any clarification regarding about this, don't hesitate to comment. Okay? Next, let's go to number 7. So number 7, we have this equation. Logarithmic expression. We have log base 5 of Alvin. Huy! Alvin! Alam ko na, di ba? That's Brother Alvin. Brother Alvin, my church pastor. Huy, Brother Alvin, shout out to you po. Shout out, Brother Alvin, kung pinood mo yung math videos ko. I hope you love it, brother. Miss you po. God bless you. God loves you. Kung nasan ka na. Shout out. Okay, enough shout outs. Anyways, so now let's go back down to number 5. 7. So, diba remember, you have log base 5 of Alvin, and then raise it in a negative 3 power, divide by x minus 7 squared. Diba? And moreover, it's being raised, everything's being raised to the 3rd power. So, this is where it gets a bit tricky. But don't worry. It still implies the application of distribution of number of exponents. Just like what you've learned before when we did number 6. Diba remember sa number 6, we already did the expanding logarithms? We already expanded this logarithm. Now we're going to expand this furthermore. So remember, the principle still stays the same. So you know already what to do. So what do you do first? Actually, to some people, what they would rather do is, they could rather, diba remember, they can just get rid of the exponent right away by distributing the, by distributing the 3 to all the members, making everyone get their exponent, diba? Remember the laws of exponents that I told you? If you have a product inside the parentheses, and it's being raised to the same exponent, the exponent gets distributed. Like for example, we have, we have 9 times 4, and then 9 times 4, then square root, diba? It's being raised to the 1/2 power. We can simply do this, diba? And we get this is 3, this is 2, this is 6. Because 9 times square gives you 36, diba? So yan. So we can distribute. So therefore, rewriting this, we get log base 5 of A, ganito yun. Log base 5 of A cube. Diba? Dahil walang exponent yan. And then log base 5 of, bakit plus? Kasi nga nasa numerator siya, diba? Lahat yung word na Alvin. So parang, let's say for example, this is also what I have to advise my students. If you're also going to play logs here, such that, remember, you have, your name is being written, spell your name. Spell your name and then see if it's plus or minus. And then, if you're already in the last letter, that's the time you have to put the exponent, okay? So, spell your name. So, Brother Alvin, let's spell your name. So, L, log base 5 of A. And then, what's after A? Log base 5 of L. But it's being raised to the cube din. Because, remember, the 3 gets distributed. The cube is being distributed here to all the factors. And then, what's next? Log base 3 of, log base 5 of V pala. V cubed. Spell your name, brother. And then, we have log base 5 of I. I raised to the cube again. Diba? Spell your name. And then, the N. Ayan, diba remember, the negative 3 is only for referring to letter N. The last letter of Brother Alvin's name. N raised to the negative cube. Diba? So therefore, we do this. So therefore, we distribute 3 times negative 3, and we get negative 9. So therefore, it's going to be plus log base 5 of n raised to the negative 9 power. Diba? But are we done? Nope. We're still not yet done because we still need to do the denominator. So for the sake of the denominator, we have x minus 7 squared. So we can distribute the exponent to the number below. So therefore, it's going to be x minus 7 minus log base 5 minus log base 5 of x minus 7 raised to the 6th power. Diba? Pwede pa yung ganon. But it's negative, diba? Now, or you can do x times 7 times x times 7 and then cube it. Pwede pa rin. Pero what you all this, it's going, pero kung ganon, let's say for example, kung ganon, we're going to do it this way. It's going to be cubed and then minus L log base 5 x minus 7 raised to the cube din. Pero they're just the same. So therefore, you can just, ano yun? You can just square it na lang para shortcut. So therefore, we multiply it by 2. So raising that to the 6 na lang para sure. Okay? Now, Now we can already bring down all the exponents. Diba? Because this implies power law. So therefore, we have this one, all the exponents slide down, then copy everything. Be sure to double check that what you're doing is considerably right. Okay? So 3 times log base 5 of A plus 3 times the log base 5 of L plus 3 times the log base 5 of V. Then pattern. You know already what to do here. Ayan! Diba remember you have negative 9? So dapat the negative 9 slides down and dapat this is supposed to be negative. So negative 9 times the log base 5 of N. Diba? And then minus, diba remember the 6 slides down. And there we have minus 6 times, the 3 slides down. So therefore we have minus 6 times the log base 5 of x minus 7. Diba? Or if you were to let it slide down, or if you were to do it separately, you can do it this way. 3, you can do it like this. Diba remember, ganito kasi siya. You can also make that minus 3 times the log base 5 of the x minus 7. And then minus it again. Diba? Log base 5 of x minus 7 again. That's it. So that's how we solve for number 7. So that's how we expand this logarithmic equation. So this is how you write the logarithmic expression in expanded form. It sure is large, but it takes us a lot of hard work in order for us to get this answer. Okay? But if you are to, you can also factor this out, and then ano yun? Diba remember sabi ko sa'yo kanina, you can distribute the exponent? Pwede pa you can already write log base 5 of A plus log base 5 of L plus log base 5 of V and so on. Diba? And then you let the 3 step aside. You let the 3 stay aside. Or actually, you can factor out everything. Pwede mo i-factor out log base 3 times log base 5 of A, then copy everything, and then i-distribute mo yung 3 to double check to see if you get the right answer. Pwede. Next, number 8. So we're done already with number 7. It's now time to go to number 8. For number 8, the problem is this. We have log base 2 of 3y minus 2 minus 5, 6 times the log base. I think I'll change that to Q na lang. Q na lang. I'll change that to Q. So log of Q minus, siguro make that P na lang, P. So 2 times 3 3P minus 2 minus 5, 6 times the log of Q minus, ayan, this one implies distribution. Diba remember sinabi ko kanina, you're going to distribute the log because now we're going to distribute everything. Diba remember last time you were asking me, bakit subtraction lang to, then everything maging subtraction na? Hindi, unless lang talaga, if and only if, you see a minus here, tapos there's parentheses up to the end of the parentheses. Then you have to distribute. So that's when you have to distribute. Okay? So what is our goal in this situation? Our goal in this particular concept is to simplify the log. How do you know? Because there's so many logs there, diba? So our goal is to simplify whatever log needs to be simplified. Diba? So how can we simplify the log? We can simplify the log by writing as one single log. But first, let's distribute everything, whatever we need to distribute, para hindi magkakagulo. Okay? Para hindi magulo, i-distribute namin lahat yung mga exponents. So therefore, we have log 2, 3p, that can be simplified to log 2 times 3p minus 2. We can simply distribute this and factor. Making that log of 2 plus log 3p minus 2. Yan. We can also do that. Okay? But first, let's distribute muna. So therefore, we have log of 2. Diba? And remember, this one implies product law. Yeah, kasi you remember, this is being multiplied together. So you have to take that as one group. So therefore, it's going to be, this becomes 6p minus 4. Diba? That's the first one. And then the 5, and then we have minus log q raised to the 5/6 power. Diba? Remember, sabi ko sa you have a fractional exponent. So therefore, on the numerator, that number is being that base is being raised to that power, and then in the denominator of the exponent, it's being taken by that root. So therefore, the letter q is being raised by the 5th power, which is being taken by the 6th root. Diba? And then, diba, remember, we have minus the whole quantity of log of a plus 3/2 log of b plus 5 times the log of c minus 1/8 of the log of d. So we need to distribute the negative. So negative times positive becomes negative. So therefore, it becomes negative log of a. And then negative times positive becomes negative. So therefore, that becomes negative 3/2 log of b. And then that becomes negative because negative times another positive. So therefore, it's negative 5. So therefore, it's minus 5 times the log of c minus 5 log c. And then negative times negative yields positive. So therefore, it's plus 1/8 log of d. Okay? Now, we can simply bring all the fractions up. Right? So we're writing it this way. 6b minus 4. And then, do you remember log of q? That becomes q raised to the 5/6 power. Copy everything. Ayan, do you remember this is 3/2 log of b. So minus log of b raised to the 3/2 power. And then this becomes log of c raised to the 5th power. And then d. And then plus log of d being raised to the 1/8 power. Now, we can translate all the fractional exponents and into roots. So we have this log of 6b minus 4 minus log the 6th root of q minus log of a minus log of b cubed that is being taken by a square root. Also, we don't need to write 2 anymore because it's already implied, naka-square root na yan. And then we have minus log c raised to the 5th power again. And then log of d raised to the 1/8 power. So it's d raised to the 1. Also, you don't need to write the 1 anymore because any power that has no power is just automatically being raised to the 1st power. So tama. And that's how we solve. That's our simplified log. That's our expanded form. But wait a sec. That's still condensing. Our goal is to simplify it, so we're still not done. So let's write that as one single log. We can simplify this furthermore. So therefore, we can do it this way. Diba, remember, because it's quotient law, we need to have a fraction bar. So therefore, it's log, ano yung nasa taas? 6p of 4. Nasa taas because it's positive. So 6p minus 4. 6th root of q raised to the 5th power taken by a 6th root. Nasa taas o nasa baba? Baba. Dahil may negative. A ay nasa baba. Diba? Dahil sa minus sign. Square root of b cubed, nasa baba. Very good. C raised to the 5th power, nasa baba yun. So therefore, this should be our answer, diba? Don't forget to put parentheses para we already know that's being multiplied. Plus d raised to the 1/8 power or the 8th root of d is upstairs. Diba? Yun lang. And therefore, this is your final answer. Diba? And there, that's our final answer on how we simplify the log. Yun talaga ang final answer. And as you can see here, this is really my solution. And this is really the final answer. Okay? Yun po talaga ang sagot namin. And that's it. That's really the answer to the problem. Next, let's go to number 9. For number 9, the problem gets a bit tricky, but the good news is utilizing whatever you've learned can help you solve for the answer here. So let's check everything what we need to check. So number 5, yellow. 6, tapos na tayo. 7, 8. So you already got every correct answer for each. Now let's go to number 9. In number 9, it says here, we have 3. Okay, this is a bit tricky now. But just pay close attention because if you remember last time, the logs were just easy. Not like in number 1. Where as we dwell farther, it gets harder. Now we're gonna confront a tougher problem. So let's read the problem. So therefore, we have negative 3/5 times minus the log base 8 of 32 plus log base 8 of f minus 7 times the log base 8 of h minus 12 halves minus the log base 8 of z times the log base 8 of z minus 14. They're all, and then that's where the first parenthesis stops. And then in the second, we have log base 8 of x squared minus 3x minus 10. And then minus log base 8 of y squared minus 8y minus 9. Phew! That's a long problem. But good luck anyway. That's very long. But can we solve it? Can we simplify the logarithm? Sure we can. Ganito kasi yun. First, our goal is to, ganito siya. Di ba remember what we do? We need to write it as one single logarithm. So, to make things easier, ang gawin na namin ay i-distribute namin yung exponent. So, we need to distribute the negative 3/5. Or you can simply write that on the top. Pero what you call this, I think what you call this, it would be better if we were to just distribute it na para tapos. Para hindi tayo mahirapan. Kasi nga baka mali mo, we might get baffled na talaga eh. So, I think it's better pa talaga we distribute it, okay? Kasi nga this is written in expanded form. Or, all you can do is this. Kasi nga naman yung 3/5, pwede tayo mag-distribute dito. Pero sige, try na namin. I know this is a very hard problem talaga, pero we can still do it anyway. So, yung negative 3/5, we can distribute it to all the numbers. Okay? So, negative times negative gives you positive. Diba? And that becomes negative, ano yun? Positive 3/5 of log base 8 of 32. Wait, diba remember log base 8 of 32? You can simplify that. Pero mamaya na, I will tell you how to simplify that later. Or if you like, you can put everything up there first. Pero I think what you will is might take time. Or if you like, ganito na lang. You can just condense the log muna. Condense everything into one single log in this one. So therefore, you have 3 halves, negative 3/5 times, we have log. What's the log? Log base 8. Diba? Log base 8 of 32. Diba remember nasa baba? So where do you put the negative log base 8 of 32? Diba remember if we were to simplify this log, it's going to be like this, diba? Naka big bracket siya. So log base 8 of 32. So 32 ay nasa baba. Tama ba? (32). And then, log base 8 of f. F ay nasa taas. Log base 8 of h. Yan, di ba remember we can distribute the exponent, di ba? I think it's better pa talaga we distribute na lang muna. Put everything upstairs first. Para di tayo mahirapan. Kasi nga, this is already written in this manner. So, I think what's best na lang for us na lang is to just distribute na lang. So, therefore, tama. I think you're right. Maybe we have to distribute na lang para maiwasan talaga yung 3/5. Baka malay mo what you hold this, yung 3/5 na yan ay mag-cause ng habog sa aming lahat. And para we can get rid of the parentheses and to simplify this further. So, tama. I think it's best na talaga we distribute. So, distributing the 3/5, we're supposed to get this answer. So, negative 3/5 times negative, ano yun? Times negative. So, therefore, you have 3/5 times log base 8 of 32. Diba? And then negative 3/5, di ba remember there's no coefficient here. So therefore, it's just negative 3/5 lang. Because even though there's no coefficient being specified for that log, it's just 1, so therefore it's just itself. Negative 3/5 times log base 8 of f. Diba? And then this one, we have log base 8 of h. 7 times log base 8 of h. So therefore, diba remember, yung 7 ay padalhin namin sa taas. So therefore, we're gonna have to make that negative 3 times negative 7 to give you positive 21 over 5th. So positive 21 over 5th. So plus 21 over 5, because negative times negative equals positive. So positive 21 over 5 times log base 8 of h. Diba? And then 12 divided by 2, of course, this can simplify to negative 6. And we have negative 3/5 times 6, negative 6 to give you negative 18 over 5. No, that's positive 18 pala. Sige, let's do it on scratch paper. So negative 3/5, diba? Times negative 2 over 12. Diba? This becomes positive 36. Diba? And then you have 10. This becomes, tama nga, 18 over 5. And then if you simplify this to lowest terms, dapat you're supposed to get, ano yun, negative 6. So negative 6, and then, tama nga, that's negative 3 times negative 6 becomes positive 18. 5 times 1, 5. So tama, it's positive 18 over 15. So therefore, it's plus 18 over 5 times log base 8 of z minus 14. Tama. So therefore, that should be our logarithmic equation expression written in the first place. And then, do I remember, we still have more. And that's over here, log base 8 of x squared. Actually, we can still factor this. Do I remember, you can still factor that. And if you were to factor this, let's do it on scratch paper. So factoring this out, we should get, do I remember, this is what I wrote here, diba? X squared minus 3x minus 10. What two numbers can multiply together to give you negative 3x and then add to give you negative 10 and then add to give you 3? We know that's 5 and 2. Which one's the negative? This one. This one is the positive. So yan. And then double checking right over here. Negative 10, 2x, negative 5x, x squared. Tama. So therefore, this is supposed to be written as this equation. So therefore, we have plus log base 8 of x plus 2 plus log base 8 of x minus 5. Diba? That's supposed to be the answer. Diba? Because we simplified in factor form. We factor the arguments out and we got up with this answer. Then you can still simplify this further by expanding it. Diba? And then we have, ano yun? Minus log base 8 of y squared minus 8y minus 9. So now we have to do another factoring method, the factoring principle again. So we have y squared minus 8y minus 9. Factoring the y's, what two numbers to give you, multiply together to give you 9, and then add to give you 8. And dapat supposed to be, yan, correct. Now double check. Double check to see if you got the right answer. Diba? So y minus 9, y plus 1. This becomes negative 9, y, 1y, negative 9y, and then y squared. Add them all up. See if you get the right answer. Yes, correct. So dapat yun yung sagot. So therefore, we simplify this into minus, diba? Remember, this is minus, diba? So we were to rewrite this is going to be minus log base 8 of y minus 9 and y minus y plus 1. Diba? Pero dapat it's negative. So therefore, we need to distribute that. So therefore, rewriting that, we expand this log. So therefore, when we expand this, we're supposed to get log base 8 of y minus 9 minus plus log base 8 of y plus 1. Diba? Now, all we have to do is to distribute the negative. So therefore, we have minus log base 8 of y minus 9 minus log base 8 of y plus 1. So there. So therefore, that should be the answer. So therefore, that's how we're going to write it in expanded form. Pero, our goal is to simplify it. So we need to rewrite. So we need to write how you're going to simplify the log. Let's use another sheet of paper for that matter.